What's going on, traders? Yes, you made it to the at the close. Joel is not here yet, but I didn't want to leave you guys waiting. So I said, you know what? Money Mitch can come on right here. I'm in a new environment, you know. I, I said, let's change it up. Let's go into the room. Let me get a little ice cream cone over my shoulder and change it up. You guys hit the like button if you guys are excited us starting up a little bit early here on At the Close. Let's go ahead and bring up some movers. If you guys got a stock you guys want me to take a look, this is the time. I know that once we get Joel on, we'll be talking about certain stocks, but I want to get you guys the stocks you guys want to see right now. So first things first, hit that like button and let me know in the chat, what do you guys want to talk about? I know you guys are getting started. There you go. There's Zotank coming in here with the Apple real quick right off the top. Let's go ahead and let's get into it. Let's see what we see out there. I'll definitely take a look at the biggest movers. Mitch felt lonely without the background lights. 100%. I need some lights. I need some action. It's a little bit dull in Spencer's desk. We need to get some kind of action behind him, but I'm enjoying it. I'm taking a different approach here. Let's take a look here at Apple. So AAPL, let's take a look. What did we get today? We got a turnaround. But one thing is, we've gotten this push above 150, right? You can kind of always expect for a little extension and then a pull back, right? Over major levels, that's what I look for, an extension. And when we pull back, can we hold that level on the pullback and get that next ride up? Okay, so if we take a look here at the Apple chart, and I'm going to go ahead and put it full screen here. Let's take a look at what we're seeing. One thing we are seeing is that we got out of this kind of pattern here. Now we've gone up towards 156. Let's see if we can hold towards 150 on pullbacks. That's where I want to see it hold. If we draw a trend line, my Alt H for my Benzinga Pro users, definitely that 150 for us. As long as we can come back towards this level and then bounce off of that level, get back up through the 158s, I think you're clear towards 160. We'll see what happens in Apple. The continuous trend has been on the upside. So, hey, if you're an investor in this one, definitely I'd say hang on tight. If you're trying to trade this one, look for a potential down move towards 150. That's what I'd see. And then a bounce there if we could hold the support there as a prior resistance. All right, let's go ahead and catch up with the chat. What's going on? How we doing out there? The SPY keeps playing games with you, David. I can't blame you on that. I know how it is sometimes when you get that chop fest kind of day. This is when you can really get chopped up in trading. So what is that? What do I mean by that? Okay, let's go ahead and take an approach here. Let's take a look at the SPY. What are we getting today? So one of the things as a day trader that I learned was that a lot of traders and day traders, they look at the overall market and they want to see a big move, let's say an over 1% day. Either it's to the upside or the downside. One of the biggest things with this is when you get those big moves in the SPY, that moves stocks overall. And so with this being said, when we have a chop day in the SPY, that's when you got to be careful because you can get chopped up in that action. And so not saying that you can't trade outside of that 1% rule, but just more along trying to bring it up so you understand how day traders approach it and how maybe you can take a look at it. So when we look at the SPY here, you could clearly see kind of a sideways action day. Why? Because we started at the low pretty much, and then we started moving on up, came up through yesterday's high, and now back below that. This is going to happen, and it's a common move. But what is it? It's a down move of 0.29%. So really, this is a sideways action kind of day. Unless I see an over 1% move, I can't really call it a trend just yet. And so for right now, I would say this is a sideways kind of chop day, and it's going to happen sometimes. You're going to get chopped up. All right. Yes, you know it, Chase. Getting it on. Money Mitch in the house. What's going on, crypto? How we doing? Sup, everybody? All right. So BBIG and Ennie's is Jesse's watch, afternoon watch. Hey, I appreciate you doing that. Spencer needs his own office. I agree. We got to get Spencer his own office. What will you do with you can't, guys? I don't understand this question, but maybe you guys can tell me right there. All right. So, anyone who grabbed CEI with me last week, congrats. Good news from their major owned subsidies. Yes, I saw CEI. Look, it's right there on my scanner. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Chamber Energy brought by James. Let's take a look here. One of the things is look at this daily chart. This thing is breaking out. It's penny stock for sure. Now, one of the things that we did get on here was a bullish engulfing candle on the first. That kind of gave it a ride up, right? And a lot of times when I see a stock get through the resistance or near that resistance, I'm always looking to see if these stocks that are under $1 get that $1 move, right? A lot of the times stocks make a move right above $1 and then eventually fall back below, especially these penny stocks. So we call it the dollar magnet move. And as you guys can see, we had that move pretty much yesterday where we went above $1, got to a high of 103, but closed where? At 99 cents. So today we go and we approach that high. Now we're ripping through, getting up there towards 131 on the high. I'd be looking for pullbacks to happen in this one, but CEI definitely not a bad trade to bring up there, James, and I'm enjoying it. Looks like my man Joel is here a little early. I'm gonna give him a little time to get set up here. Looks like he can give me the thumbs up when he's ready, but I'm definitely enjoying it going through here and going through the chat. Really, I wanted to start a little early and go through what you guys want out there. So thank you, James, for bringing that one up. Looks like Jack Douglas also enjoyed that one. He's saying money, money, money on that CEI. That's what I like to see. Susan likes are a thank you and help to the Ago. Of course. I mean, at the end of the day, this is value. I could be trading right now at the close instead of being here and going through stocks with you guys, but this is what it's about. I really try to give back because I always believe in karma, and karma is very important. So one of the things that I do is I try to give you guys everything I know so that you guys can learn from my process, my 5 years in the market. And then that's why we bring on people like Joel that have not 5 years in the market, but 20, 30, 40 years in the market. Hopefully we keep going and we don't end it. But that's what it's about, guys. It's about building the process, finding out how we attack it, and then you guys can do the same. So definitely, Susan, I agree. The likes are a thank you for us giving you all the information. All right, let's go ahead and see where we're at. It looks like we're at 327. I'll be bringing on Joel in just about 2 minutes here. We'll set up for at the close here, but can I still get in on CEI? Honestly, I'll be honest. As a day trader, I would avoid it once it got through that $1 level because it's very hard to, let's say, go $2, $3 up because you're talking about a move that was down at 65 cents. That would be like a 300% move if it got on up there past that 300% move. So at this point, I would start watching to see if the $1 holds because a lot of times you get a pop above $1 for these penny stocks and then quickly right back below it, 60 cents. Perfect example, you guys can look at NAKD naked. That one does it often. So we'll see if these kind of continue. All right, so CEI has last 4 days, 200 million plus volume. I mean, great to know. I mean, it doesn't mean that it can't keep going, right? It needs the momentum to continue going. So what would I want to see? I would want to see another 200 million plus volume day. So we'll pay attention to that. What's your opinion on the quadruple witching for the SPY tomorrow? I'll tell you what, that's a perfect question, Mike, for the one and only Joel Elconin. He's coming on next. I'm going to start up at the close, and by the time you guys see it, you'll see the one and only. But let him know how much you guys appreciate him by hitting that like button and letting us know in the chat. At the close is getting started.
All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
3 consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
What's going on, Mr. Joel Elconin?
All right, 2 things here. You got to You got to give Spencer some tips in the compliment department there. You're giving me all that praise and stuff. You're making me blush. So that's
Hey,
one thing you got to do. And the second thing is what did you do for lunch in the Motor City?
well, today I had a little Shake Shack, so maybe we could take a
Oh,
look. You know,
at the
had
Shake
had
Shack?
yeah, I had to get a burger with my man Chris. So we had lunch. It was good to finally meet Chris. I
Yeah,
got to see him in person. So it's been a great time here at the headquarters here in the office. Can't wait to see you, Joel. I'm counting down the
yeah.
hours, so I
Have you heard
definitely
my Shake Shack story?
no, I haven't. What happened at the shake in the shack?
Okay. Well, back with this stock. Wow, this is going back a long time. Woo! Let's go back to the monthlies here. I mean, this thing
Let's get
was,
the charts up if you can for
yep.
me.
Oh, yep. That always helps. I did have to share screen, but I didn't actually share my screen.
Let's do it.
This was back. This is a long time ago. Okay, this is back in. I know when it was. It was in 15 because the reason I remember is because that's when I did a trip to Israel with my wife Lisa, and Shake Shack was the rage earlier in the year. It came down, but there weren't any Shake Shacks in our area. And like everyone wanted to try one, and there's just no one to be found. So, when, in order to get to Israel, we had to go through LaGuardia, right? So we're in LaGuardia, and it's kind of, it's getting to be like 9 o'clock or whatever. And I'm like, our flight wasn't leaving. I'm like, I'm hungry. I'm going to take a walk around. So I take a walk around, and lo and behold, what do I find? A Shake Shack. And I said, "Oh man, we talk about your company all the time, and the stock it's going crazy and everything." I said, "They go, oh, we're getting ready to close," and I'm like, "Oh, you're kidding me! I gotta try this burger." And they said, "You know what? We're closing up, and at the end of the night, we have a few burgers left over, and usually the crew eats them, but we're gonna give them to you." So I got a free Shake Shack burger. I got a free French fries and the shake. I didn't want the shake. I gave that to someone that was on the trip with us. And so Dennis, that's all he could rave about was how I got free food at LaGuardia Airport at Shake Shack. So is that a
Well,
good story, or is that just one of my old boring stories?
no, I mean, at the end of the day, it just shows kind of that they're focused on the customer service, right? They want some people with some happy
Nice.
burgers.
Yeah. As far as the Shake Shack chart goes, I mean, you put in a low here after earnings, and now you got a quad bottom here. I mean, but the problem is you're really not bolting out of here. There is a buyer at 84, and maybe he stepped it up. You're at 85.20. You're going to close green on the session. So, not a great looking chart, but I like all those lows in the same area. So you're risking a buck 20, buck 30 here. Maybe put that stop below that 84.03 low, and then see what happens. If you want to buy this puppy on strength, 87 has been the hurdle for the last four sessions. Yesterday's high 87.04, 2-day high, a couple other highs in the 86 handle. So there is some unexpected technical analysis in Shake Shack.
Well, hey, what can I say? Just shake it up and see what happens to it. But let's go ahead. Let's get into what we talked about this morning a little bit.
Ooh,
Look, did you
yeah.
see the RH move?
Let me
Did you
see
see
here.
that?
I
We
did
we,
not
we kind
see
of
the art.
traded. We traded it on live trading at Benzinga, but man, it was a
Woo!
nice move up.
You did. You took. Oh, well, I'm looked at that one. I couldn't have been more wrong on that one. I was thinking maybe that these three highs here would hold. Man, what was I looking at? Where did I see three highs in a row? Oh, right here. Right
Hmm.
here. Boom. Wow. 712. Boom. Got mud all over my face on that one. Gapped up. What was the open? Oh man, that's dropped 14 bucks off the open and then rallied through. That's a tough trade. Maybe if you had your Momo goggles on when I went through that 712. You could have got a ride on it. How did you play it, Mitch?
So it was played by Zunaid, but he played it through the. I'm just to not, I don't know exactly, but I'm pretty
Okay.
sure he bought the strike price of the 710.
Oh,
And
nice.
so when it broke out through it, he plays these lottos. So I mean, this is not for everybody out there, but
Yeah.
definitely he was able to make a quick profit, scalping the option into the move.
Good
And
call.
it was a nice one. What stood out to me this morning, and I pointed it out on pre-market prep, was the monthly chart, the bottom right, because that to me looks like a longer time frame bullish chart.
Oh,
But if you
yeah.
look at the daily, you see the chop, right? So that's why I like to use sometimes that monthly, because it can tell you a little bit more about the long-term trend of the stock. And to me, that looked great today to come towards the monthly highs. And that's kind of what we got.
Yeah, $700 stocks are $700 stocks are more difficult to trade. Though I wasn't quite right on that one, but you know what? I wasn't bad on Lululemon here. Now this one,
Lulu.
Lulu couldn't take out that pre-market high. Remember, I talked about that pre-market high and actually made that right before the opening bell at 36.49. This is your opening 15-minute bracket. No can do. There was a stubborn seller there at 435, but they couldn't bust it through there. Just an orderly sell-off, nothing major. I talked about the former all-time high being potential support, that being 417.85. We haven't got there yet today. So, you get some right, you get some wrong, but wow, that RH, man, they are selling that busted furniture for premium prices there. I just want to just talk about a couple other stocks just from yesterday. You
Mhm.
buy the dip. I did Pulte Homes as the pre-market prep stock of the day. And did you want to buy the dip today? And I hate to be after the fact, Jack, but the street was leaning short or selling into the report, right?
Mhm.
Street's pretty smart. Okay, lower open on Wednesday, so you track some buy the dippers, right? You buy that 40 that open at 49.80, it goes a buck in your favor. You're thinking this puppy's going to fill the gap. Boom. No can do. Comes back down, takes out the open. All those open traders are like, hey, I'm done with this for the day. If not, I'm playing it short. You settle at 49.51, or the low is 49.51. You take out the low that you had in July at 50 point, and then you only settle 2 pennies off the low of the day. Today you open lower, barely get over to the close by 4 pennies, and then another whoosh down and down to 48.54. Next monthly support, yeah, well, that's way down to 42, but people can't wait for that big of a dip. So I'll just change this to the weeklies because I like that Mitch was talking about using longer term charts. And on the weeklies here, but look at this. We'll buy the 48 bucks. I looked at it here. This is a weekly candle. This is a weekly candle. You had 7 consecutive sessions where the lows surrounded 48 even. The ultimate low of the move was 47.31, which was the foundation for the rally all-time high. So if you're looking to buy the dip, look how the street treats it before the report. Look at the day of the report, and you took out that low. Now you see what happens at the lower 48. But I just wanted to bring that up to you as because you were looking at some longer-term charts.
No, definitely. I love to do that. One thing that I've been learning I'm doing my little CMT classes right now. So
Is that hard?
learning, it's not too much. I mean, if you know technicals, then you pretty much know the content. But what it's about is more along like they talked about in there, is that a lot of traders view patterns in one time frame, and we don't realize that those patterns exist in bigger time frames and bigger time frames. And sometimes the trade is more along trading in that bigger time frame than the time horizon that we are trading in. So I think this is important to realize. Now, one thing I want to do, give a shout out to crypto. We just got a $50 tip, Joel. Looks like
Woohoo!
our lunch is going great, man. Looks like we might have to go to Texas de Brazil downstairs for lunch or
I've
something
never
because
been there. I've never been down to that place, but
might have to if we get tips like this.
man,
We're not gonna have to worry too much
what do
about
they
lunch
want?
at
What do they
least.
want to see? What do they
You
want to
you
look
know
at?
what they want?
Crypto? What?
They wanted to give us lunch money. It's literally lunch money from crypto. He said, "Here's your lunch money, guys. Enjoy lunch together."
Okay.
You
All
see
right.
that's called love right there. That's what I want to see for real. So crypto, hey, power to you, man. Appreciate the tip, and we'll definitely have a great lunch. Let's go to some stocks here. Let's get into let's see what happened with
Oh,
GME. What happened with
well,
GameStop today?
first of all,
What do you got?
man, that Triple D. You got
Oh,
look at this guy. Look at
you
that Peloton.
you were trying to talk bearish on this one to this morning. I had to. I'll put out there the
I
little
was
bear in
I
you.
felt cold today. Yeah, Triple D. Well, it's just because I just want out of the stock. That's what I
I
want. But
can't blame you.
if it goes to 130, baby, then hey, then she'll say, "Oh no, it's going to 150." But no, no. Boom, boom. Nice move. The street caught it. I don't know about a gap fill. First things first, man, Triple D, I hope he did play this one. With the top of the gap is 108.80. We got to 107.38. Why the hell not? Then you got a gap up to 113.35. So that's what, wow, nice move. Oh, and now we'll have to hear, oh, I didn't play it. I tried to buy it at the close. I couldn't get it. But man, that was a nice call. Did you gap up? No, you would have had to buy the top of yesterday's range. Oh, open 98, 99, 19. The doubters like me out there. And then you just went, look at that. 17 cents below the close, then a rocket ship. Big volume, too. 5 million yesterday, 14 going to do 15 million today. So, wow. Good call. Now, what were you talking about, Mitch? I'm sorry, I got sidetracked.
No, you're good. I'm glad you took a look at Peloton. I mean, at the end of the day, we've talked about it. If they keep innovating, that's what I want to see. So that
Yeah, I
innovation
agree.
today just shows that that's what we need to keep seeing from Peloton. And one of the things is whenever you're a growth company, you got to keep bringing something out, right? Like, and this is one of those companies that has taken completely off. When it first started trading, I remember it was around that $30, $40, and people were like, "Oh, looking at Joe crazy." Look where it is nowadays. I mean,
Did
this is
you say
why.
growth stock? That's what you said, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, growth
okay.
stock.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. It's an interesting chart, though. Spoo's getting off the mat, man. We've been up and down and all around. Got my
Choppy
head.
chop.
Yeah, I
Yes.
know, man. The expiration chop. I got my head chopped off this morning trying to short this thing in the 45.20 handle. Now I'm looking at it. I'm like, how in the hell did I get stopped out of that? But I did. We came down, looked like we were going for the pre-market low. Everyone's geared up for 44.85 and a half. And then they say no can do. They do the rug pull at Thursdays or Wednesdays low, 44.92. They get it to 44.90.50. And now we're back in the 4,500 handle. Perfect chop and slop of rollover. I should have taken the day off too. But I did have I did have a good lunch with my daughter Emily for her birthday. Ate
Hey,
too much. Went to Townhouse, so we won't be going to Townhouse tomorrow. That's big old burger just sitting in my stomach. But what else do we got, Mitch? Oh, that CMT class. Like, how many hours do you have to take to get that?
it's based on an exam, so it's 3 levels. There's a 1, 2, and 3. So if you guys don't know what that is, it's a chartered market technician. Mainly, I think it's more status than, let's say,
Okay.
education. Because if you know your technicals already, I mean, I've been studying technicals for about 3, 4 years now, and I could say that at least majority of the knowledge I already obtained. But that helps me, right? Because all it's doing is just reconfirming my knowledge. And really, I like how it goes about it. It doesn't tell you that technicals are everything. And I think this is very important when you start learning. You have to have multiple skills. I think, especially in this day in this market, it's not just one skills. You can't just rely on, let's say, fundamentals and then not know your technicals, not know your story approach. You have to, especially as a retail trader out here, you have to learn the complete game. And that's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. Affirmed. Someone mentioned Affirm
Yeah,
here.
they
I don't
got
know.
earnings after the close. I
Oh
was gonna
boy,
bring it up.
that's a tough call because like
Yeah, tough.
that Amazon thing's not kicking in yet, right? The deal, with Amazon, that's going to be in future earnings. So, it got off the mat today. It just nicked the low for the gap. That was 87.13. Ooh, it did break the gap low yesterday. Ooh, Spencer. 90.28, you went to 87.13 yesterday. Then you snuck in a double bottom here at 87. So if they have a good report, you're going up. You got to look at like half of this move here from that. It wasn't quite the all-time high, but 101 down to 87.14, 94. Let's see on a pop what happens at 94. What's your 2-day high? 94.04. There's a great number. You take out this 87, Katie bar the door. I mean, the top of the gap is at 69.41, but I don't think you're going to have, like I said, their earnings incorporated, right? Because of that Amazon deal's not taking place for a little while. So we'll see what happens on that one.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. I mean, if you look at the prior history, it hasn't been the best on earnings, but that doesn't really always give us what's going to come next. We'll definitely pay attention to a firm. Another one that is having earnings after the close is Zscaler. ZS. Let's take a look at the chart.
Zscaler. Let's see. Big red bar, 2 days ago, but kind of hanging in there. I mean, I could do a couple different things. I mean, this thing is this was a bad day. So here are your targets. You've had a 2-day range of 79 to 84, 84, 15, 7.5 takes you up to the 84, 85 area. Today's high is 84 and a quarter. Is that right? How high did we get? 293. 87. No, that's right. That's about a 17-point move. So 8.5 on top of that puts it up like 85, 86. So I'd keep an eye on that on a pop. Of course, the all-time high is 293.44 with an all-time closing high at 87.40. Intermediate numbers, just on this thing, if like they turn on this thing after the report, I think I'd have to let it go after that 2-day low at 277.20. Looks like you got some room on the downside there.
All right, let's go to the last one that I want to bring up that's after the close. Let's go with Dave and Buster's play.
Oh boy!
Before we move on, I wanted to show this about Benzinga Pro. So with Zscaler, look at that. Look at the green. All greens on the surprises for the last, it looks like 10 quarters. So things that we're talking about, things to pay attention to, right? Use that calendar on Benzinga Pro, use the earnings calendar, look at the surprises, see how consistently they beat on estimates. That's something to pay attention to. All right, back to the chart here of play.
Play Dave and Buster's. About a reopening trade that hasn't been going as well as we like. Was that a new low? No, not a new low for the move here. What was this? Your August low was right here. 32. I mean, you went 31, 38, and you came back about half of that move. So that's good. You matched this low here. I like it, above holding 34 and good resistance point 38.90. That was the recent high. I mean, I just don't know how good of a report they can have. I mean, maybe burning less cash, but I tell you, the one I drive by on 696, man, that parking lot looks like it's growing tumbleweeds in it. So a reopening stock that's got a little bit of a pop and a drop, but until we get things back to normal, I think it's kind of hard to be super bullish, David Busters.
Well, at least from my look onto the earnings calendar, I only see one in the red there. So we'll see what happens with these earnings. But It's something that I'm trying to pay attention to more often. Is if these consistently make the green, I want to start figuring out more plays on here. I know a lot of people try to trade earnings, and a lot of times it's just a flip of the coin there because you just don't know. But one thing I'm starting to pay attention to is more that historical perspective of what has happened, and maybe we can use that to find the best probable ones that could keep running. Let's go to the next one here. I wanted to go to now more of the chat, calling out a big mover today, Rocket Lab. So that's RKLB, Joel. Let's take a look at that. That did a 30% move there.
A 30%er, huh? Boom.
SPAC, D-SPAC, but
Boy, well, it's still trading, near the upper portion of its range for the day, so that's good. 2134. Gap and go on this one. You bought the opening print. You didn't worry about getting nicked at the gap from yesterday. I mean, we're in no man's land here, right? So what can happen? You got to get above that 2134. You are a buck off it. A lot of people sitting on a lot of profits here, so I've just used that. I mean, as a target for tomorrow, and then today's close is going to be your all-time closing high at 20 and a quarter. So big day, big gains. Did they have some news? Did they get gobbled up, or did they make an acquisition? Are they a target for somebody, or what happened?
nah, I think this is just a more of a pattern that's been happening in some specs. I'll point out the two others that kind of did it today. One was yesterday. One still had a good day. EFTR, if you want to just pull up the chart just to show them that they've been rocketing. That's another one that did it. And then let's look at the other one today, OPAD, OPAD, is another one that had that spike. I'm actually taking a shot on one of these to maybe do the same, which is Blade Air Mobility, but that one at least had a catalyst. But you see how that just goes up and straight back down. So this is a very quick trade and quick pattern.
Right, leaning on the parallels at 970. You got a lot of people stuck on that right up to 16, but at least you got identifiable out here. I just wouldn't want to be caught holding the bag below 970. You got a gap down to 870 for that one. I see someone mentioned IMPL. They said we gave them a look on it the other day.
Yeah, I was going to go to that one. Mario Rodriguez.
Mario Rodriguez, yeah. I mean, what did we say? I hope we said we liked the low here, the gap down here. Mario, I got a level for you tomorrow, Mario. 2183. That was your high on Tuesday. 2188, your high today. You're only at 2114 right now. So someone that's stuck or someone that bought it on the cheap, trying to wait out at 22. Now, if you get through this area, it ain't going to be free sailing like it was on this day, because you got all the way up to 35 and then you came down. So a lot of people got called holding the bag on that one. But you know what I like to do if you want to try and be optimistic over the long term here? Keep a bottom here. Don't take out that low. Just look at that move. That takes you back to 20. I mean, you're not super far away from getting half of that back, 25. So that's a possible target. But first things first, take out the pair of highs, 2183, 2188.
All right, let's take a look at the recovery of Lucid. What a nice move there. It's up about 5%, but the big thing is we're fighting to get above that $20 level. I think it's very vital.
Again, we talked about that this morning. You made a higher low. I know, but this one, man, you're getting a running start, folks. Never saw that closing price of $18.93. Little bit of a higher open. Buyers stepped in ahead of the open. Now, you went 2003 today, 1995 the day before, 2006 today. You're hanging up here at 1992. I tell you, my daughter Dana was born. I wouldn't be sleeping on this one, and I wouldn't want to be caught short if this thing catches a bid at 20 tomorrow. But nice looking chart. We talked about that level this morning. It came into play again today. Never got a chance to buy the close though at 18.93.
Now,
That's where I was born.
I will state there that Citigroup had initiated coverage on this with a buy rating and announced a $28 price target. But
Oh,
we know how
sneaky.
those initiations kind of work out there. They're more of that long-term approach. So we'll see if we get that hold above 20. I think it's just going to be
Yeah,
vital.
Salon's still short. He's hanging in there. Let's see, Salon.
Hey, at least he has
Look,
his level. It looks like he has his level, and that's what we always ask
okay.
about is as if you have the out plan, honestly, every trader can tell you right or wrong, but if you have an out plan, I always think that it's best to just stick to your original planning. That was your thinking, that was your decision making, and whichever way it goes, if it breaks through that or comes on down, it's all about the probability. And if you think you're in the probability, take the trade. Know your out plan.
Not liking the spoos going into the close. It looked like we were going to try and close over 4,500, and no can do.
Yeah, easily
This is a
turning into a
travesty
red
for the
day.
market. Do you want to know that this is an absolute travesty, Mitch? I want to show you something here.
Show us.
Look at this. Look at this. We're going to have 4 lower closes in a row. Oh my God. Sound the alarms. We are in an all-out bear market, tongue in cheek. Look at that. All-time closing high, 35 and a Q. Your close on Friday, 34 and a half. Your close on Tuesday, 19 and a quarter. Your close here, 12 and a half, 93.75. We're going to close in the red, 4th day in a row. I don't even know that's happened the whole year. I don't think let's see what happened here. It's hard. 3 down days in a row, folks. We're going to do some homework and see if we've actually had 4 down days in a row leading into Friday. If you read my article last Friday about sell Rosh Hashanah and buy Yom Kippur, you barely got a chance to sell that close. What was our high on Monday? Oh, Monday we traded up to, that was a sneaky high, that 45.48 high on Monday. That was actually during the Monday trading. When we traded from the holiday, the spoos were open from 6 p.m. to 1 p.m. Let's go back to that. That's when they got up there and failed at that 45.49. Let's see if I can get that in here. When everyone was grilling their hot dogs and stuff. Right there. Boom. That was that 10 p.m.? No, that was 10 o'clock in the morning on Labor Day. Everyone's so happy. The spoos are going to make a new all-time high on Tuesday. And they turned it around. So 4 down days in a row.
I tell you right now, I already have the idea of I found it. It was the 15th through the 18th, the last time we've had 4 straight red days of June. So it's been a couple months there. So we'll see.
And then what happened there?
Green.
The dip.
Bullish engulfing candle, right? That's the very next day. So we'll see if we get that bullish engulfing candle tomorrow on the daily. I think, 450 for me it just stands out, at least on the SPY. I mean, I pay attention more to the SPY, but to me,
Yep.
450, us getting above that level multiple times and then rejecting it, that's the level to watch for me. I think that's the next bullish run if we can get back up through that 450. But let's see what happens here. Let's go. We got about 2 minutes to the close. That's going to probably do it for us. I'll call out one more stock that I'm taking a swing trade on. I'm taking it on Blade Air Mobility. This is BLDE, 18% mover today. I got in this one underneath 10. So that's really my thing here now. And 9.7s. So now for me, I've gotten hit. So now it's just time. What are you thinking about the chart? What do you?
2-day move. 2-day move. I like it. It required. So first day of a 2-day move, and you probably got volume backing you on that one, right? Yep. 360K yesterday, 8 million today. This is going to hit the radars tomorrow. Let's see. Monthly target for you, maybe 11:30, since we're closing above that 10:15. So that's going to wrap it up, folks. A down day. Looking at the SEP contract, we're trading just off the lows of the session. We'll see what Friday has in store for us.
All right. It looks like Kathy is buying Blade. I'll have to take a look into that. Kevin letting me know that. I'll see when those purchases were made. But hey, looks like Kathy has been literally, I mean, she scooped up Genie from me. She scooped up Blade. I think she's starting to mix it up a little bit, not going to so much of those high flyers, but we'll definitely take a look. You guys join us tomorrow on Pre-Market Prep. It's going to be a big one. I even heard Jason Raznick is going to be in the office. I don't have him for Pre-Market Prep, but stay tuned. I'm going to get him on. So you guys hit that like button. That's what we like to see. Joel, I appreciate you like always, and we'll see you next time on At the Close.
See you tomorrow in person, baby.
Oh, so excited.
I'm not going to suit it up, though. No suit. No suit.
No worries. I don't need a suit. You wear a jersey if you want. All right, guys, that's probably going to do it for us on At the Close. Before I get on out of here, I want to let you guys know, if you don't know already, you can win $1,000 worth of Dogecoin if you guys register to the boot camp. I know I've been talking about this all day, but I don't want you guys to miss it. Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern. You guys can learn here on Benzinga's YouTube, but register so you can get a chance to get that Dogecoin. Like always, guys, check out the boot camp here. I can't stress it enough. I know I'm going to be there, and you guys don't miss out.